All right, welcome everyone to this Thursday night's edition of Southern Woods and Waters, and it's a little warmer this week than it was last week. Hey, we got a great show for you tonight. If you want to talk about fishing, we got that covered. If you want to talk about deer hunting, we got that covered. Let me see, if you want to talk about duck hunting, we're going to cover that too. And then when you want to talk about all your vehicles and toys that you have, we're going to talk about that too. All right, so be prepared. We got a great show for you tonight. Let's broaden out and introduce our guest to you tonight. I have to say that I welcome Mike Stansberry. Mike Stansberry is one of the proud owners of Elite Insurance Solutions. You notice that they are part of, a big part, matter of fact, of Southern Woods and Waters. And we could not have this show without guys like Mike. And Mike, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And Mike he and I are going to do some duck hunting this year. That's what he likes to do. I'm a newbie, and we've got Trey Clary over here. Trey is actually an experienced hunter, experienced duck hunter, and he has got a tale to tell us about what happened earlier on in the week. Trey has some really good fortune in that he tracked a big boy down and took him.
Yep. 16-point buck.
That's right. That is awesome. Right in Davidson County, too. So don't rule out Davidson County. Just because there's a great big skyscrapers around here, don't rule it out, because those deer don't really care. As long as they got food and water and shelter, they're fine. So we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about duck hunting. We're going to talk a little bit about fishing. We're going to talk a little bit about deer hunting, some things that we think is going to help you, because muzzleloader season is going on still right now, but it's not going to be long, and it's going to be gun season, modern gun season. A lot more people hunt during the modern gun season, and that's understandable. It's a little easier. You don't have to load your weapon through the end, or you don't have to pull a string back to make it fly. But a lot of people are going to take to the woods. We're going to try and help you out and make your next trip even more memorable. But first off, I want to say thank you to Mike. Again, I said thank you before to Mike. Mike, Elite Insurance Solutions. You took one look at all of my stuff. and I came from the old school. He who has all the toys wins. Right. so bass boat, kayak, four wheelers.
Yeah. Most boys with toys.
Four-wheel drives, and most of us do that. I mean, people say what they want to, but I'm gonna be honest and tell the truth. Hunters and fishermen, we like to have our toys around us. And, whether it be, and my goodness, some of the reels now are like $600 for some of these reels. And so you can't just allow something to happen to them.
Yeah.
And man, ever since we've hooked up, Mike, you have just made me a happy camper. And campers, might as well bring that in too, because we got campers too. But you have made my life so much easier, because I got not only full coverage, but I got more coverage than I've ever had for less money.
Yeah.
And it's because of what you do. And please explain that to everybody. I mean, I want everybody to know that.
Well, and I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you having us on. We take a lot of pride in taking care of other folks' toys, especially on a show like Southern Woods and Waters, where you have folks out there with boats, ATVs, campers, firearms, all of the types of things that had value. And that's the type of client that we really like at our company, and how we came to support Southern Woods and Waters simply comes from we're outdoorsmen ourselves. We
right.
enjoy our own toys, and those are the type of clients. They take care of their stuff. They want to have a lot of fun, but they have a lot of respect for their surroundings, the outdoors, and things like that. So there's a lot of things that we care about in working for you. We're proud to work for you. We're an independent shop, so we represent a whole lot of different companies.
You're not held down to just one company, and you got to stay within the confines.
Right. We go out and work for our clients, and we can find the best type of protection for whatever the situation arises, and we really are free to do that, which you got to experience that on your stuff, because we could move in different ways.
That's right.
One company might provide a better product.
Well, like my boat insurance is with one, and my ATVs are with another.
That's
and
right.
And it's because he got me the best deal, got I got more bang for my buck.
That's right, and we're experts in the coverage forms and things like that. There's no romance in reading a lot of that stuff, but we do it and we know it really well, so that when you come and ask us, here's what I've got, and it comes down to a lot of trust, and so we take a lot of pride in being trustworthy and being able to answer whatever the question is that comes up. And then the things that you don't think about, you're driving and somebody you're hauling your boat and somebody hits it, or you've got it parked at the
Famous Dave's.
Famous
Dave's,
restaurant or
or
something
you
like
got
that, and you come out in that $600 reel.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff is missing. You that's where we come into play, and we kind of provide the support for the things, because nowadays more than ever, especially in sportsman world, we like being out, we like playing, but man, we're all having to work hard.
Yeah,
and we're proud of our
work
stuff.
hard for that stuff.
And that stuff don't come, it's everybody knows their first shotgun they saved up and they bought for, and you hold it with a little bit of pride. Well, yeah, that's the kind of stuff where we like to do.
You cry the first time it gets it scratched.
Yeah, you do. You do. You sure do. You sure do.
But after about that 10th scratch, it's like, it'll be fine.
I'm still babying mine, but I do want to tell you thank you. I appreciate all the resource. I was shopping this year for a shotgun, and you were just a vital resource for me to help me get what I was looking for. I'm just tickled to death with it.
It matters. It matters.
Yeah.
But even Talking with Trey is an avid fisherman. Trey is also our tournament director for Music City Bass Anglers. And one of the great aspects of Music City Bass Anglers, and I notice this with a lot of clubs, is that you have to first off show that you have liability coverage on your boat before you're ever allowed to bring in that bag of fish, or before you're even allowed to launch.
That's right.
You have to show that liability.
That's right.
And now I may be different from most. I carry my insurance card that you gave me.
Right.
Is in a plastic bag, and then it's in a glove box of my boat, just like it's on my truck that you cover. It's in the glove box of my truck. I like keeping it with the vehicle.
Yep.
And if Trey and them come up and say, Hugh, we're just having a pop test here, pop-up deal, can you show me your boat insurance?
Yeah, your boat
I
insurance.
got it.
That's right. People and we get that a lot, especially in the beginning of the season when you're running your tournaments.
Right.
We get a lot of inbound calls from our clients that just say, hey, tournament season's coming on, and we have to issue several of those, to tournament directors. It's not uncommon that we have to issue those, especially tournaments all over the Southeast.
Oh yeah.
Because most of the folks that love to fish tournaments, they don't just stay in one spot. They go. And
they like to move around.
It becomes an important part of what you guys do. And like I said, we're outdoors guys ourselves, so pretty much enjoy just helping folks have fun. This is fun stuff that we're working on here.
That's right.
It's a lot of fun for us.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we got to hurry right now and take our first break. When we come back, we're going to hit on a little bit of fishing with Mr. Trey Clary. So hurry back to more of Southern Woods and Waters.
This segment is being brought to you by Stan Sloan Zora Bait Company, where setting the hook is an everyday thing. This segment is being brought to you by Fate Sanders Marina. Come by and check out the jewel of Percy Priest Lake.
All right, this week's Picture of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing. Mike and Deborah Flowers been working hard out there. Hey, by the way, if you get an opportunity, swing by Flowers Deer Processing. You see little Miss Deborah running back and forth, just say happy belated birthday to Miss Deborah. She's an awfully sweet lady, and she deserves your birthday wishes. All right, our first picture here. Hey, you got to see this guy. You've seen him just a few seconds ago. This is our one and only Trey Clary. And Trey, this is that big 16-pointer that you took Monday. He took it with a bow and arrow, and awfully good job there. That is great. And we will talk about that here in a minute. But guys, that's right here in Davidson County. I mean, that is a great Davidson County buck. All right, our second picture here. This is from my good friend Mickey Beck. He said he took his two sons, Tyler and Seth, hunting last weekend for the juvenile hunt, and they both got one. Tyler got a doe, and Seth got his first deer, which was a small button buck. They were both excited and now excited to have some good deer meat, including some deer jerky in the old freezer there.
right.
So great job there, Mickey. You can take me next time, Mickey, if you want to. Hey, our third picture here, this is Ethan Dotson's first deer. It is a small spike buck that he took on November 4th with his muzzle loader. So congratulations, Ethan. Look at the smile on that boy's face. I'm telling you, you can't get any better than that. And then our fourth and fifth pictures here. This is Turner Hoffman of Wilson County. He took a 5-point buck and a doe on his youth deer hunt weekend. So great job there, Turner. Awesome job, buddy. Hey, you can send your pictures to me here at Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Robertson Parkway in Nashville, Tennessee, 37219, or simply email them to me at Hugh@southernwoodsandwaters.com, and we'll get them on here really fast. Got a lot of pictures coming in, a lot of tournament pictures, so keep them coming. Mike and Nina Bolin have their tournaments, been awfully good about sending those pictures to me each and every week, and we are very proud to show the winners each and every week because, man, when it gets cold out there, Trey, you know as well as I do, it kind of separates the men from the boys out there on some of these days.
Yes, it does. In my opinion, the fall is the absolute most underrated time
I
of
believe.
fishing of the year.
Yep.
You got stable, predictable weather. It's a little cool, but lots of times the sun pops out and warms up in the afternoons. Guys like me are in the deer stand and getting ready to get in the duck blind, and you got the whole lake to yourself, and a lot of the weekend boater traffic
And a
stuff
lot of
is
your bigger
gone.
fish are caught in the fall.
A bunch of big fish.
Yeah,
a bunch of
they're-
big fish. And the fish feel the winter coming on, and they're feeding up in the fall this time of year. And lots of times they're shallow and easy to catch, and it's an absolute great time of the year to fish.
I'm telling you, great surface
Top water
fishing is what I was trying to say. Surface fishing using top waters. There's nothing better than watching that big largemouth or big smallmouth explode on a floating bait, and then it just like the water sinks and then it pushes up.
Yeah, and you look behind you and you got the beautiful trees changing colors and everything.
It's gorgeous.
It's a great time of year to fish.
It is, and fishing right now. Percy Priest has been a little slow for some, but then on some guys have been doing pretty
I hear
good.
there's some grass growing in
There's
places.
some
and you
grass
find the
growing
grass
out there.
growing
Old Hickory, a lot of grass growing out on Old Hickory right now in spots.
in places.
In very
Very
few places.
And
Kentucky Lake, though,
is loaded.
is loaded.
It's the most grass I've seen since I've been fishing up there ever.
Now, Trey, you fish Kentucky Lake quite often, and I got to say, is not Kentucky Lake really the best lake that we have in the surrounding area?
In my opinion, it is.
Yeah, I mean, mine too.
In my opinion, it is.
I don't care what day you go to Kentucky Lake. Somewhere on Kentucky Lake, the fish are biting.
And big ones.
And big ones.
And it doesn't, you can, little pot tournaments, 15, 20 boat tournaments is always, takes a big bag to win on Kentucky Lake.
Yeah.
Always,
I was really impressed. I went with Hoppy, Little Hoppy, and we went to Kentucky Lake doing a ledge fishing piece. And I mean, we never left sight of Paris State Park. And we hit 5 spots. The first spot, we had 5 keepers.
Yep.
But he kept saying, we can do better. We can do better.
Yep.
And we never lost sight of the bridge there at Paris Landing. And so it's just everywhere. It's all up and down. He said, Hugh, you can do the same thing. If you went all the way to New Johnsonville, go to Danville, you can do the same thing.
Yep.
Each and every, and that's what I think is so great about Kentucky Lake.
And one of the things I like about Kentucky Lake too is it's renowned for its summertime ledge fishing.
Yes.
And everybody talks about Kentucky Lake ledge fishing, but that lake is so full of fish and so full of shad. In the spring, flipping buck bushes in a foot of water.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've seen 6, 7, 8 pound bass come out of a foot
It
of
doesn't
water
get
in a
much
buck
better than
bush. And in the fall, if you can find the bait fish and find the shad, I mean, those same fish that live on the ledges run those shad up shallow in the fall and in the spring, and it's also got good wintertime fishing too.
What is it going to take now in the wintertime? Where do they go in the winter? Because now because a lot of reports are that the main string of bass is still some shallow, but they're kind of moving out that way. They're pushing the shad out.
The milfoil, which is growing in the backs of the creeks, is starting to break up and float out, and you're losing a lot of that that cover and structure in the
dies
back of the
off,
creeks.
right?
It dies off
It
when
dies
the water
off.
gets cool enough. But the hydrilla that's growing on the river and in the far mouths of the creeks and on the river and back in behind the islands, it's still great and good and healthy and still got good walls of it, and it's good thick grass. And so I think a lot of those fish, when that structure breaks up the grass in the back of the creeks, they'll migrate out to the river, and that river grass should stay good for a long time. You might not be able to catch them on top waters anymore once the water cools off, but you can definitely pull out your punching weights and your big jigs and flip and punch through the grass and catch them that way.
Okay, so that's what you're suggesting. For wintertime bass fishing, we want to prepare for wintertime.
This is probably going to be more late fall.
Okay,
late fall. Once you get into the winter, I think those fish move back out to the ledges.
I do too.
For the winter.
And don't you think they suspend out there a little bit?
It depends on if there's current or not.
Jerk baits?
Deep diving jerk baits, you can fish ledge fish just like it's summertime during.
But
the
use your
winter
electronics, really.
Right.
Now we use like DD22s and the big lure Jensens, the real deep diving lure Jensens in the summertime. But do we back off of that and quit getting such a big bulky bait and maybe go to a smaller suspending jerk bait?
On Kentucky Lake, you have a huge population of gizzard shad and threadfin shad.
Right.
Your smaller threadfin shad like to migrate in the fall to the back of the creeks and get a lot of the phytoplankton because that water warms up in the middle of the day on a sunny afternoon, and I think a lot of your 3-4 pound bass and smaller follow those shad up into the shallows. And I know a lot of people in the fall that still catch the big giant 6-7 pound fish on the ledges, but that's because the gizzard shad
are staying out there.
They stay on the ledges, and they pick and feed
and they're
off
not,
the bottom.
They're
and
not
stuff.
little either.
And they're
this
a
time
lot
of year.
bigger.
They're like 8 or 9 inches long.
Right, and so your big bass are staying and keying on that. So in the fall, I like power fishing with big baits.
I like swim baits. Now that has been a craze, but I tell you what, I love it.
Takes patience.
Yeah, it does.
It takes patience.
I love the Big Hammer swim baits. I'm an avid follower of Big Hammer, but I'm gonna tell you something. They got some baits now that really will catch the big boys.
They do, and Big Hammer makes a hammerhead jig head with a hook in it, and they make a 1 ounce jig head with an 8/0 hook in it.
Yes.
And
that's for your big
swim
boys.
baits are renowned for getting a big bite and you pull him to the surface and he jumps and comes off.
Yeah.
And with this giant hook that's in that swim bait, I really like it. I've gotten some big ones in the boat and a good high percentage of them too, which is what I like, especially fishing tournaments and stuff. But even if you're fun fishing, you want to get fish in the boat and take a picture.
All right, Trey. Well, I got to move you on now. Now we've been talking about fishing and like I said, crappie fishing's good right now.
Yep.
Oh, let me tell y'all something. Lake Normandy, my good friend, he's up there at Lake Normandy right now. He had 16 white perch the other day that totaled over 19 pounds.
That's good.
That's a good stringer of fish. But that's just constantly going right now. It's going to get better and better and better. Walleye starting to pick up just a little bit. Heard a couple of bit of sauger.
It won't be long.
Sauger's coming on too, and sauger especially below Cordell Hull. Cordell Hull's always been great for sauger. Dale Hollow's been picking up with walleye right now, walleye up there. And also Bobby Gentry said, y'all need to come up here to Dale Hollow and go smallmouth fishing because let me tell you, it's on. The brown fish is on Dale Hollow right now.
Yep.
Got to go see Miss Patty and Mr. Frank out there at Hendricks Creek. Go up there, stay with those folks. Bobby will pick you up in the morning, carry you down there, put you in the boat, and then put you on those brown fish. And I'll tell you what, there isn't anything like when you can see, and I kid you not, Trey, when I was up there fishing with Bobby and them, you can see the smallmouth, and I'm talking about 4 and 5 pound smallmouth coming from 15 feet to hit your bait, and you're just like, oh my God, just be still, be still, be still. and then boy, they hammer it.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my Lord, you can't, it's so exciting. You want to jerk, because they're fixing to hammer it, and that's a fun. That is the biggest fun I've ever had. Smallmouth fishing is on Dale Hollow Lake. It is gorgeous when you can see 20 feet up under you.
Yep.
And you see these big girls flying down this freeway and these big brown fish. It's breathtaking.
Del Hall is without a doubt the prettiest lake we have in Tennessee.
It is. It has got to be the prettiest lake in Tennessee. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're not taking advantage of some of the prettiest scenery that we have in Tennessee, you are missing a boat, because I believe that 50% of an outdoor enthusiast's time out there is the scenery in which he's doing it, or her. Taking pictures of, like you said a while ago, with the fall leaves falling and the colors. Dale Hall is beautiful. And Center Hill, don't forget Center Hill. I got to say Center Hill's got to be number 2. Center Hill's gorgeous.
Awesome.
And I'm talking about Middle Tennessee, because you can go to Douglas Lake and Nickajack and all those. They're beautiful too. So anytime you get an opportunity to go out there, enjoy yourself. But ducks is coming on.
And I tell you what, anybody that's been fishing in the fall at Kentucky Lake has seen all the grass up there.
What's in that grass besides bass?
Those ducks love
They are in there, aren't they?
They're everywhere. Everywhere.
Have you not noticed, though? I mean, I'm getting reports ducks are being quite frequent on Kentucky Lake right now.
Last time I was up there was mid to late October, and I saw thousands.
That's what I'm saying.
Thousands.
Well, what's happening? I mean, here we go, DU reporting to me, and Delta Waterfowl reporting to me, they're moving west. All of a sudden, you get 1,600, 1,700 land in Camden Bottoms.
Right.
What?
Right, and you see a 200-yard stretch of grass on the edge of the river channel, and it's got 400, 600, 800 ducks in it, and you're like, good grief, what am I fishing for? But yes, it's up and coming, and Kentucky Lake's such a big lake, and it changes so much from New Johnsonville to Paris Landing to the dam. It just offers a wide variety of opportunities to sportsmen. Everything. Everything's
there. I'm going to tell you something. We got to take a quick break, visit some more sponsors that help make this show available for you, but hurry back to more Southern Woods and Waters. Hey, we're going to go duck hunting here in just a minute. This segment is being brought to you by Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, welcome back, everyone. You can call us here at 737-7767 for any type of call. Questions you may have, we'll answer. Fishing, duck hunting, deer hunting, any type of question you may have, just give us a call here. But first off, I got to ask you, Trey, a lot of duck hunting is getting to be one of the most popular sports out there. And several guys, Mike and myself are two newbies. I like to call us newbies.
Yep.
Now, Mike has more experience than I do. I shot one duck in my life, and it flew off as soon as I went out there to get it. so I can't say I'm any good.
The good thing about duck hunting versus deer hunting, you're up in a stand by yourself.
Yeah, and you got to be quiet.
Yeah. And duck hunting is just laid back. You can cut up. Keep an eye out. You see some ducks coming, everybody hunkers down.
Yeah.
You start calling, they come in and you shoot, and you start cutting up again.
But it's like, duck hunting to me is like dove hunting being a social in a blind.
Right. It really is.
Because some poor schmuck's in there fixing breakfast, and he's frying eggs and bacon and putting biscuits in the oven. And other guys are going, shoot!
He's running for his gun, knocking
He's
pots
running for
and
his
pans
gun and getting eggs all over him and stuff.
Yep.
But oh my gosh, I have seen some duck blinds, Trey, especially at Reelfoot Lake, that are condominiums on the water.
Yep.
I mean, they got love seats and couches and big screen TVs and everything a man could want it. Why did you leave home?
We've got a 24-footer in Arkansas where we hunt.
Oh, listen to you.
And it gets put to shame by some of the stuff I've seen. I've seen them built 3 stories high in trees and stuff.
But here I am thinking, well, the little lady might be sitting at home, the wife, she's sitting at home taking care of the kids, and she's worried about her man. He's out there braving the elements to try and get us some ducks. It could be anything further from the truth. He's out there having a great time.
Right. It's a blast. It's a blast.
But I tell you what, first off, we got some calls right quick. Let's take a couple of calls here. We got Jim. Jim, how can we help you tonight?
Hello, Mr. Hughes.
How you doing, Jim? Dylan.
I'm doing fine. Where do you get these gas at?
Well, I tell you what, when Trey sent me the picture of his big buck that he took Monday, I said, well, Trey, you just got to be on the show. And then,
well, he did kill a good one. Have you seen it? It is a haul.
It's a haul, Sid.
Thank you.
It's a
I
great
didn't see
one.
it. But anyway, I got a question. My wife has got a bucket list, and I don't duck hunt and I don't turkey hunt. Now, I do everything else, but
Right.
give me some people or recommendations of people that I can hook her up with to go duck hunting and turkey hunting, please.
Well, I tell you what, Jim.
I'll get off and leave you alone.
Well, that's great, and Jim, and we appreciate you too, buddy. And he's talking about Miss Rhonda. We don't have a problem taking Miss Rhonda duck
I'll
hunting.
take her
do we?
duck hunting. I'm not the turkey man. I bass
Now,
fish.
Joe and I have already
You're the turkey
told Miss
man.
Rhonda that we're going to take her turkey hunting this next spring.
Yep.
So we're already gearing up for that, and Miss Rhonda will get ready for that one. That's going to be fun. But as far as duck, I mean, I'm willing to go with y'all and film you. I mean, enjoy.
We're gonna do
I
it.
just made a new friend with a 24-foot blind in Arkansas, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to introduce myself.
Good job. Good job. Well, thank you very much. And we got Johnny Coleman.
I'll take her duck hunting too. Hey, you know, Hugh, I've always heard that the only difference between men and boys is the size of their toys. You right?
There's
That's
a lot
exactly
of truth
right.
in that.
Hey, you did remember that you have the 2012 Music City Bass Anglers Club champion on your show there.
That's
along
what I
with
was going to
Chris
say.
Hunter.
We were going to announce it too because you and Chris wound up winning again 2 years in a row as our team of the year in points championship, and they just did an awesome job. You know what though, Johnny, it was great to see y'all didn't come in winning a whole lot of tournaments, but you placed in the top 5 almost every tournament.
I think our lowest finish was 8th place.
Yeah, lowest finish was 8th place, and
11
so
tournaments.
you're just a consistent, great team.
Yep.
And that's what wins the points.
Yep.
What's the
Well, generally each week, each tournament, you know, the rest of us are fishing from second down.
Yeah, that's right. And I
Right.
tell you what, now we got to also your nephew, J.D. Coleman, works out there at Bass Pro Shops. Did he not do an awesome job?
He's a thief. He took everybody's
He
money.
did,
is what
didn't he? He took everybody's money.
Them was 5 pretty spots, weren't they?
Oh, they were gorgeous. We had our fish off on Center Hill, and J.D. just took our wallets from
5
us.
that weighed 15 pounds.
5 spotted fish that weighed 15 pounds, and and he wouldn't tell you where he got them, did he, Johnny?
Right in the mouth.
He told me
Found a few sauger today. Never had a keeper though.
Oh no! Well, now did you fish Cordell Hull?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now I had heard a pretty good report from Cordell Hull that some guys caught some good ones out there.
Yeah. Water temperature is about 52, so it's getting close. Won't be long.
we need a
Won't be
little
long.
bit of rain to give us some current to
Yeah,
position those fish on the bottom.
Yeah,
That'll
we
help
need a
more
little
than
bit of
anything.
rain.
Let you go, and y'all looking good.
Thank you,
there.
Mr. Coleman.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, we got David. David, how can we help you tonight?
How's it going, Hugh?
Great.
I talked to you a few weeks ago. How'd you do in that tournament? Remember, I think it was, who was it, Brandon, that champion I ran across in that Center Hill?
Yes.
How'd you do in the tournament?
I didn't do as well. Now I did pretty good the second day. We
Yes,
did
very
good
good
the
second day.
We
No,
Joe
but
and I.
I think that guy answered my question there. I'm going down to Cordelia Saturday. I haven't been down there in a few weeks. I'm going to do some bass fishing down there out
Yeah.
of Granville. Thinking about running up towards Salt and War Trace and getting some of my old sauger places. And he kind of answered my question. I guess it is just a little bit early, but I thought I'd
Yeah.
rig up a couple of rods and try to hit a few places and see if I could get anything. Is that about the only report you heard what that gentleman told you?
Yep, that's about it. Now I did hear one other report. They went last week. Some guys went down there last week and slayed the sauger. They had 22 or 23 keepers, so which was pretty good. They
Yep.
were only out there about 5 hours and did real well.
If you can ever take a cast net and catch some shad somewhere and throw them in your live well and hook that shad on the back of your sauger jig,
It's always
Money
a
in the
plus.
bank.
That's money in the bank
Money
right
in the
there.
bank.
That's money. But I think Trey is right. We need a good soaking rain of about a half inch to get some current flowing.
Yep.
And that's going to kind of
position
those
the fish on the bottom, and then
Yep.
when you're sauger jigging, they're right there in
They're
front
right
of
there
your
in
jig.
front of you.
Yep.
So, and I think about 44 to 42 to 44 degrees is going to be the primary. That's going to be some good fishing
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
So,
Is the bass fishing? Like I said, I've been going out Center Hills. How's the bass doing down on Cordell?
I heard the last report I heard on bass fishing was in first part of October, and they were wearing them out.
I hadn't heard anything.
Okay.
But I hadn't
All
heard
right,
anything
brother.
since. And
All
but
right,
now I did hear that
appreciate you guys.
Center Hill is down right now. Adam Wagner called me. He's been having a little tough out there. So if Adam Wagner's having it tough, it's tough. So, but we appreciate it.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Dave. And Ransom, how can we help you?
I just wanted to kind of give y'all a little alert about what TVA is doing
Okay.
to our fish hatcheries there at the steam plant.
Okay.
They're trying to shut them down. Now, you know, they do the sturgeon there.
Right.
Just happened to talk to one of the TWRA officers that was out putting some out and stuff, and they're fixing to shut it down. Not only are they trying to shut them down, they're talking about, you know, putting the new pollution controls on there, but everybody around this area, you know, with TVA wants some to keep them because they also are the only facility that has been able to actually get mussels
Yeah.
to reproduce.
Yep, because that's where all the mussels are started right there.
Yeah, and nobody else has been able to reproduce it.
Well,
And I talked to some of the Corps people, and they said, yeah, we heard that, but we're not allowed to talk about it.
well,
So,
now you've contacted the right show because we got friends in high places. We'll be asking some questions now. And matter of fact, we'll try and get.
yeah.
I'll see if we can get Bobby Wilson and a couple of others on here from Old Hickory and see if we can talk about it.
Next week.
yeah, well, I would appreciate it because, I mean, you know, that's all got to do with restocking and
Oh, you bet.
and water quality.
And as long as we got the great mussel reproduction that we've been having, that's why the water is as clear as it is, and why we've got such good quality water is because of that mussel. So thank you for that information, and we'll dig into that and see if we can get Bobby Wilson on here next week.
Yeah, they're keeping it hush hush at TVA.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can break through that silence.
Yeah. Not hush
But we
anymore.
sure appreciate your call.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, well, great calls. Thank you for all the calls today, and we will dig into that a little bit and see if we can help you get some information. You know, I like having a lot of information. That's why I won't base an opinion till I hear all sides first. But yeah, let's get Bobby Wilson and somebody from TVA and the Corps of Engineers on here. We'll discuss it.
You need to know that.
And because it doesn't matter whether it's private or what, if it has to do with tax dollars, it's minding your business.
That's right.
So
you never know. They could be moving it to a
they
different
could be.
location.
That's right. They could be moving
So,
it.
right.
And so we don't know that. But hey, I want to get back to duck calling right quick. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now we have early wood duck season, and that's always a kind of a prelude to what's coming about. But my goodness, Trey, we got so many wood ducks around. Help me make it. I've got a call, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, you want to run through everything?
Yeah, I want to run through it all.
Okay. We'll run through all
Mike
the species.
and I are your students here.
Okay. We'll start off with a mallard.
Okay.
And the hen mallard, which is probably the most famous, you know, the call that everybody tries to imitate. And a lot of mistakes people make blowing a duck call is they blow air into the call just from their mouth and don't use
The
air
diaphragm?
from their diaphragm.
Okay.
And some people will grunt into a call to try and make it sound like a diaphragm, and it's not. And I'll show you a difference.
Okay.
This is what it sounds like when you just blow air in a simple quack.
Okay. Okay.
And when you use air from your diaphragm, it sounds like this.
I like that.
Sounds a lot duckier.
Is it? Yeah, it's different.
It sounds a lot more like a duck.
I like that adjective.
Yeah,
Duckier.
duckier.
We gotta remember that one.
But a hen mallard, You know, you hear these competitions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what a hen sounds like.
It sounds good on competition, but not out in the real world.
Right. 5 to 6 quacks is all they ever do.
Oh, okay.
Simultaneously, and that sounds like a.
Okay.
Just you're stringing
But now
about
you
5 or
just
6
put
of
'em-
those together.
Okay.
And 2 different little variations of that I really like are if I've got a wad of ducks coming to me, working to me, and lots of times they'll flare off and land on the outside of the decoys.
Right.
I'll run through that same little note series and go fast, kind of excited, like you're trying to say, come here, and
Hurry up and get here.
Yeah. And that kind of
It's more
excites them,
exciting.
and that's worked for me personally to kind of bring them a little
Right,
closer.
right.
And if you have some that have made a pass around you or something and are going out wide and you really want to get their attention, I like to draw that same series out and go.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And kind of really exaggerate it and get their attention. And so, you know, you do all 3 together, you know,
Okay.
but they're used, you know, I use them for different
Right,
times
right.
according to the duck, but.
Awesome.
And so, you know, you can kind of mix and match it,
Yeah.
especially when you have somebody else in the blind and no 2 people sound exactly the same. And you get 2 people kind of working in tandem, it can be really good. The mallard drake, which
Yeah.
is what you have above your head, which is
Yeah.
a male mallard, he makes a deep grunt and whistle sound like a. You've all
Now,
heard
I've
him in the
often
park
wondered
doing-
what that was in the woods.
That's a mallard drake.
That's a mallard drake.
All
All right.
We're gonna go back to Kentucky Lake. You've seen all those ducks
Yep.
flying around the grass. Most of them are gadwalls, some widgeons and mallards mixed in. But a gadwall is the easiest. You have to have a call for it, but it's the easiest sound to make that the duck makes.
Okay.
It's this. That sounds like you just do it once. Sounds like one. But if you've got several gadwall decoys out, you want to kind of go a little high low, and make it sound like different ducks,
All right.
you know, in the group making the sound.
Hey, I'm gonna have to. We got to go to a break right quick. But first, I got to do our tip, and then. But when we come back, we're gonna finish up with a little bit more duck calling as soon as we get the recipe. But let's do our tip of the week now for those fine folks.
Okay.
This week's tip of the week is being brought to you by Interstate Batteries of Music City, located at 3729 Highway 109 North in Lebanon, Tennessee, home of your alternative power source. All right, Trey Clary is going to give us the tip of the week, and this is a great one because you showed it to me. Show me what you got here, Trey.
Okay, this is your basic spinnerbait, and you know we were talking about fall fishing and
All right, just
shallow
hold it
shad
still.
and
Hold
stuff.
it. Yeah.
And this is your basic spinnerbait. And everybody who's fishing spinnerbait, when they catch a big fish, and you got your line tie right here,
Right.
and you get a big fish on, and the first thing he does is bend that blade all the way out.
Oh, yeah,
When
yeah.
you get a big fish on.
Yeah.
And then your blade's tore up, and your spinnerbait won't run right, and you bend it back.
Right.
Well, every time you bend it back and take it back, it weakens
That
that
bend.
bend right there. And so
It'll break.
the more fish you catch, you know, eventually it's just going to break. And
Right.
It shortens the life.
Right.
Well,
Hold it.
everybody's had the trailer hooks,
Yep.
and you put the
Keepers.
surgical tubing
Yep.
around the edge of the trailer hook.
Yeah.
Well, if you'll take a piece of the surgical tubing, cut it really small, and fit that
Over that bend.
over the bend in the spinnerbait, and then you tie your line on right here. See how I bent it out
Yeah.
earlier and it bent out?
Goes back every time.
It won't allow that to bend out, and it's going to drastically increase the life of your
Nice,
spinnerbait. And also, when you catch that big fish, maybe 5-6 pounder, that might be the last straw that makes it break. And here it's going to hold that. It's going to hold that
right.
wire together and not let it bend out.
All right. Thanks very much. Hey, we'll be right back with more of Southern Woods and Water. This segment is being brought to you by Advanced Chiropractic, where we help America feel great, one spine at a time.
This week's recipe of the week is being brought to you by Broker Headquarters Group. Let our team in Camo help you with all of your real estate needs.
All right, welcome back. Enjoy. After Halloween, I had a lot of Butterfingers. She knows that I have a weakness for Butterfingers. Much like you do, probably. But she said, no, you can't. You got to quit eating them right out of the package. I'm going to show you what to do with them. So, Joy, tell us what we can do with our Butterfingers now.
These are for Blake and Andrew.
What?
When I say Blake, Blake Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Tyler. No, this is an easy thing to do. We had Halloween candy, and that's the only thing that's fattening in it at all is the Butterfinger, because it is in a fat-free crust. Right. And it has 6 Butterfingers. I just crushed them. Has 8 ounces of cream cheese that's the no fat, and the no fat Cool Whip.
Right.
All you do is mix that together, those 3 ingredients, put them in your pie. I just sprinkled some more on top of it. That's it.
That's it? Put it in the refrigerator and let it cool?
I have one request.
What?
One request, please.
What?
Try Mike Stansberry with Elite Insurance. He's awesome.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. All
So true.
right. Well,
Thank you.
Hey, you can get this recipe along with many, many others on our website at southernwoodsandwaters.com. Go on there and check on recipes of the week and catch that recipe. And that's a great one right there for Halloween candy leftover, man. Ain't nothing better than a pie.
Or folks joining you on the show.
That's it. That's it. Hey, bring that thing on over here. Trey, you go on and talk. We got this. But, you know, now, Mike, now you and I, we're newbies to this.
Yeah.
Now, Trey and a bunch of our other friends, Mark Arnold that owns Team Foul Quest, and Rick Wood, and we're going out to see Billy Blakely out there at Blue Bank Resort. He and Mike Hayes have graciously invited us to come out there and do some shows, duck hunting out there on Reelfoot Lake. So that's going to be awesome for all of us. But we're going to get a lot of experience under our belts.
You know, the thing that I'm excited about too, just it's never too late to start, get involved and be out there in the water and meet some new folks and get out there and just enjoy being outside. We're going to bring another good friend of mine with CGI Electric. Steve Cathy's going to join us, and we're going to have a great time learning, being smart, being safe, have some experienced folks out there with us, but just be together and enjoy the outdoors.
And while we're not in the office, Tori's going to be taking all of our jobs for us.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it. I tell you that, she does an awesome job.
I'm just going to see how good she can be at handling Southern Woods and Waters and that while we're gone.
She would be one to put on camera as well. She's pretty good.
Well, I tell you what, Trey, take us through a couple of more now. Okay. You said, all right, Gadwall. Now teal. What about teal?
A hen teal sounds just like a mallard. It's a high pitch, and they do it a lot faster. And you kind of have to have a teal call to do that, but it sounds like this. It's real fast and high pitch. It goes.
All right.
Just real fast. And a male teal makes a peeping sound that you do on one of these whistles. It just goes.
Now, I'll hear that quite often.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
Real quick sound like that. Another duck, a widgeon that we've seen a lot around the grass, blow on the same whistle. And a widgeon makes this sound. It goes.
Well, that's awesome.
That's a widgeon.
Now what's a wood duck?
A wood duck. Wood ducks do not call well. They do not decoy well. They like just kind of flying through the timber. But if you get one flying, you might could do this whistle at him, and Mike could get his attention, or maybe angle to you a little bit to get a shot. But most of the times they're pass shooting, just flying by like a dove almost.
Right.
But they kind of go.
That's awesome. All right. Hey, I tell you what, fans out there, we've got a nice little Strike King package of soft plastics for you, worth about $25 here. Strike King soft plastic. Be the 5th caller, 737-7767. You will be the proud owner of some Strike King that might get you that big bass. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Southern Woods and Waters. This calendar of the week is being brought to you by Drycon Carpet Cleaning. Give us a call or visit us online at drycon.com. All right. Well, congratulations to Mr. Jim Davis from Springfield, Tennessee. Hey, we got you started off already. You can go to Kentucky Lake with these baits. starting in the spring, and catch some of those 7 and 8 pounders. I promise you, some of those rage crawls and those lobsters. I love the lobsters too. They're awesome, awesome fish. Congratulations. Hey, starting off this Saturday, November 10th, Kentucky Crossbow season reopens and Kentucky Modern Gun opens. And remember, this is the last full week that we're going to have of Tennessee muzzleloader. So get those smoke poles out if you're hunting in Tennessee. You got another week to do it in, and remember, it's concurrent, so when it stops, muzzleloader's over with, okay? When we don't have a split season anymore, so remember that. And also, I wanted to say on Friday, November 16th, that's when Tennessee muzzleloader ends, and then Saturday, November 17th, Tennessee gun season, modern gun, opens. And also, we want to say that Middle Tennessee Crappie Club out in Lake Norman is going to have a tournament on Lake Normandy out at Barton Springs from 6:30 to 2:30. Contact Randy Clark. You know those boys never get tired of catching crappie. Nope. Isn't that something? They don't stop, buddy. Those boys start on January 1st and they go to December 31st every year.
Keep the cornmeal.
They keep that cornmeal hot. Now I'm telling you, they do an awesome job. Do not forget, November 22nd is Thanksgiving, and it is a great time to gather your family around the old house place there. Bring out a fine bird, hopefully one that you took in the spring or in the fall hunting season. Put that thing on display, cook it first, and put it on display, and then say grace and be thankful for what we have. We were truly a blessed nation, and I want everybody to know, get as many family members as you can and just enjoy the time together. Hey, we got 2 minutes, Mike. Mike, sure. You want to say anything? Because I got to tell you, it takes guys like Mike Stansberry with Elite Insurance Solutions to make this show possible. And if you're given a choice out there and one of your insurance policies comes up due or something like that, please give Mike a call. Give him a shot. What's it going to hurt you to give him a shot? If he saves you $50, you're going to thank me for it. I promise you. Give him a shot. Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate it. We appreciate being here. We appreciate the support of the show. We're outdoorsmen. We're community involved.
And we're going to be duck hunters.
We're going to be duck hunters this year. That's right. That's right.
Trey Clary. Trey, you're awesome, buddy.
Oh,
you're an awesome outdoor enthusiast. You're a great bow hunter, a great deer hunter, a great duck hunter, and you're one of the greatest bass fishermen I know. Hey, man, you've won this thing 2 years in a row.
Well, thank you.
I tell you what, you do an awesome job.
I tell you what, us young guys, we spend so much money hunting and fishing, we're going to have to
get back to work.
Friends and save us some money on insurance.
I got to say, you got a great partner, too. Chris Fondren, I got to say, he's one of the best.
And my dad and my brother,
and
too.
Your dad.
That's who we hunt with all the time and fish with, too,
They do an awesome job.
It kind of takes a community and good family to raise up a good person, and hunting and fishing is a huge part of that.
That's right. Hey, I tell you what, if you're given the opportunity this weekend to take a youngster, don't let it pass. Take that youngster with you. And remember, if you're out on the water, wear those personal flotation devices. You do not want to try and swim in this cold water. If you are up a tree, wear a fall restraining harness of some type to where you have a controlled descent. And I promise you, it's because your family might have let you go hunting or fishing, but they expect you to come back. You owe them that. All right? So come back safely. Have a good time out there. Take plenty of pictures. That's Memory Insurance. We'll see you next week right here.